and that has a really nice sound. Up for sale and for demo today is this vintage Gibson J-45 guitar. A little bit of an interesting and somewhat complicated history on this guitar. What we can say about it is that it's in current form. It came from the Gibson factory with this finish and bridge and pickguard and whatnot, and it's a really nice sounding example. Now, what about the complicated history? Well, when I took this guitar in, it came with a little piece of paper from the original owner that said this. This is in kind of an older person's handwriting and on a piece of paper that's yellowed a little bit. There you can see it. What it says here is refinished by Gibson in Kalamazoo, Michigan, 1962. Also replaced lower bridge. As well as number 2, it says bought new in 1945 at Joe Sapp's, Cullman, Alabama, model J-45. So that's the original owner's history of the guitar. And as I've examined it, that seems to be basically right. The bridge and the pick guard especially, those are from the early 60s. That paper says 63, so this would correspond to it. You can see how thin the pick guard is. Later, they got these thicker pick guards. Now, this guard came on, it was put on there when the factory work was done. So from the paper and from what I can see, clearly it has a factory finish that's a little bit later than, say, 45. But when we look at it carefully, what we see is that this lower bottom bracing, you can't really see it in the video there, but there it is, okay, does match up with what Gibson would have used earlier, 40s, even into the early 50s. Although the top bracing does look different. So what I think happened is that this guitar was actually retopped in the early 60s. So they used the original back and sides, perhaps, and then retopped it with a new piece of spruce. That's the best I can say based on what I'm seeing and what's there in the paperwork. As far as the neck is concerned, it's a very nice neck. It's a wider 1/11/16 inch nut width, chunky medium profile. It's a nice chunky neck. It's not as huge as, say, a banner logo would be. It's possible that the guitar got re-necked at the factory. They certainly did that, but again, it's hard to tell. I've got photos of the neck joint because I did get the neck reset on this. So yeah, other than that, which is no small thing, again, the rest of the guitar essentially comes to us the way it was in 63. So what do you want to call it? 1940s J-45, a 1963 J-45. That's what I know and that's what I can tell. You decide how you want to describe the guitar. The tuners have been changed. They're just kind of like these older drop-in replacements. You could put the regular Clouson style ones on there. There is an added strap button here at the heel, which is not a bad thing. This strap button's been changed. As far as the servicing of the guitar, it's had a fresh neck reset, professional job. Some braces have been re-glued, and there's been a repair to the side. There was a bit of a puncture, crack repair right there. It's pretty well done. It's not totally hidden, but it conceals well, and it's got some touch up there. And there's also a crack that's sealed up very nicely that's been repaired here, and there's evidence of that inside. What else can I say? Oh yes, you can kind of see here, there was the typical crack on the sound hole here by the edge of the fretboard. That's been repaired. So, you know, it's had its normal servicing and work done, but right now, it's a great player. Sound-wise, you can tell it's a very lovely, nice, nicely resonant guitar. Has a nice ring to it. Has a deep sound, but it's nice and balanced. It's not boomy. The first thing I thought when I played this was, that'll be really nice for recording and for performing. Sometimes vintage Gibsons can get a little boomy. Some people really like that. This one isn't that. I don't think it's right to say it's thin at all. So, it is what it is. Essentially, in its current form, the finish, this is a 63 top. an older back, and who knows what else exactly. I'll give you pictures. That's the best I can do. There is no serial number or FON on the guitar, and no evidence that anything's been messed with. Again, that would match up essentially with what we have here in terms of the paperwork and the story. They didn't always put FONs on these guitars back in the day, and prior to, I can't remember the exact year, they didn't have serial numbers either. So it's definitely a vintage instrument. There's no doubt about that at all. Exactly when and how, it's a little bit of a complicated history. What I can guarantee you is that it's a great sounding vintage instrument. It's been nicely serviced and is ready to play right out of the box. Thanks for checking out the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. Also, if you watch this far, special bonus that down below you'll find a link to my website. I post this video to demo the guitar in lots of different places. If you buy it directly on the website, one little bonus is there's a little bit better price and you don't get charged sales tax at checkout if you're outside Washington State. Thanks for checking out the video and have a great day.